Hi everyone, this is Heather Lahtinen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 203, and today we're talking about the price point of the new Profoto A1. This hits the shelves really soon, so naturally everyone is talking about what it costs. This light comes in at $1,000. Now, in terms of a disclaimer, I will say this. Everyone has a different gauge in terms of what's affordable or what's not affordable. And for some people, looking at this like a flash, if you compare this to a flash, I suppose it would seem like an expensive flash considering the good flashes from Nikon and Canon range from $500 to $600. So yeah, this would be an expensive flash. But if you look at it from the standpoint of a studio light, then all of a sudden $1,000 seems really inexpensive. In fact, it seems like a great deal. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, I understand that you may have a different opinion about this. This is my opinion based on shooting with it for several weeks in several different scenarios. I believe that the price point is accurate and I would absolutely pay it. Now, if you say, by the way, this is not my light, I will be returning it to my friends at YM Camera very soon, so I have not purchased one yet. My goal is to purchase 2 of them because I like it that much. It just depends on what you're photographing and what your needs are. Now, I have tons of flashes. Okay, tons. I have 4. I have 4 flashes, and you might say, well, you could use those flashes the same way you would use this light, so why wouldn't you just use the gear that you already own? Well, so something strange I've noticed about myself in the past couple of weeks playing with this light is that while I could use my flashes off camera outdoor during portrait sessions, I just don't. There's some sort of barrier for me, and I'm not even sure what it is. I know how. Maybe it's because I don't feel like getting out the triggers or setting it up, but shooting portraits now with this, I am more inclined to grab it and use it. So to me, it seems worth it. And if you say you can't afford this, all right, let's rephrase that. Really, the truth is you can either afford it and you choose not to afford it, meaning you don't want it, which is fine. That's a personal preference. Or you just can't afford to pay for it yet and you want to save up for it. I always run my business in a debt-free model, so I don't take anything out on credit, and when I have the money to purchase something, I purchase it. I recommend that to all my students and clients as well. I don't believe in debt. I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. If you can't afford the light yet, then save up for it. But I think this light is absolutely worth it. And for those of you out there thinking, oh my gosh, because I see the comments on YouTube, people are thinking that's so expensive and Profoto is ripping us off and why is it so much money and somebody's getting rich somewhere. I think there might be some faulty logic in that because I've had the opportunity to talk with people who work directly with the manufacturers of camera equipment. Not this light specifically, but I have talked to them about other types of equipment. These margins on this type of stuff, they're not huge. And besides that, to get quality products, you have to pay a quality price. You really do get what you pay for. This is a phenomenal light, and I think the price point is accurate. Let me back up a little bit and say this. If I had not played with this light and you said to me, hey, there's this really fancy flash/studio light that you might want to look into. It has great quality of light, looks really natural, it's easy to use, all of these great features about the A1. If you had said that to me and said it was $1,000, I would be like, I'm gonna need to think about that because $1,000 is a decent amount of money. But now that I've played with it and used it, I think everyone needs to at least experience the quality of light. It just feels different. There are a lot of really good concrete features we can talk about it that make it amazing, such as the long-lasting lithium-ion battery, which I love, the ease of use, the way everything just fires and works, the quality, the circular quality of the light looks really pleasing on the images. I have a video coming out in a few days showing the wedding photos that I took at the last 2 weddings using this light. So, I mean, whether or not you want to pay for it is up to you. It really just depends on your type of photography and what you're going for. Charlie says, do you think Robbie will have one to rent in the future? I think that's a great option. If they can get some rental units, I'm not sure, Charlie, to answer your question, but if they can, I think that would be great. Because my feeling is that if you use this light and you were taught how to use it properly, you would love it. and you would understand that $1,000 price point. It just costs money to make good quality products. I don't know what else to say about that, but if you think some money-hungry person is getting rich because they're pricing these things at $1,000, I really want to challenge that thinking. That's just not how it works. They're using quality parts to produce a quality light. If you are okay with your off-brand light or flash and it's working well for you, by all means keep doing it. I tend to prefer more quality equipment. I just like it to work. I like it to be reliable and consistent. That's my approach with my photography. And again, after using this, I'm pretty sold on it. But to be honest, had I not used it, I would have been, I wouldn't say skeptical because that's not my nature. I would have been more thoughtful about the price point. Do I really want to pay that? Oh, I don't know. But now that I've used it at weddings, I'm thinking, okay, I could almost get rid of all of my flashes and just get 2 of these and keep things very streamlined and nice. And I think I would love it. Yeah, that would be $2,000. Okay, well, I have 4 flashes. Oh, listen, I'm no Einstein at math, but 4 flashes at $500 each. If I didn't have those or had never purchased them, 2 of these, $1,000 each. Oh, well, that tells me it's not so far off if you think about it. I don't care what you do. I love the light. I would spend the money on it. I think it's worth it. If it's not for you and you don't want to afford it, that's a choice. You can say, I choose not to afford that. But don't say you can't. You spend your money on where you want to spend your money on. That's just a priority issue. I hope that you found this useful. I've sort of avoided this topic on the price because I wanted to test it out fairly, without thinking about the price point. But $1,000, here's the light. Do I think you would love it? I do. I'm speaking directly to my portrait and wedding photographer friends. I do not know much or anything about commercial photography. I know about this much about landscape photography, a little bit more about sports photography. If you are in those industries, I'm not sure if this makes sense for you. Maybe if you're a studio photographer, you have like the Profoto B1 or B2, the bigger, heavy hitting studio lights. I think that's great. For an on-location portrait photographer or wedding photographer, I believe this is the answer. I love this light. Hey, make sure you join me in about an hour over in the community group for our weekly Q&A. I'll see you then.